Hey everybody, and welcome to our first of 3 video lectures on networking messages. In this brief video lecture, we'll discuss some basic introductory information that you need to know to write effective networking messages. And then in our subsequent video lectures, we'll discuss some best practices for writing effective networking messages. And next, we'll describe how you can effectively request a letter of recommendation. Now, the first thing that you need to know, and perhaps the most important thing that you need to know about networking messages, is this. They can serve a wide variety of purposes. You can use a networking message, for instance, to express gratitude. That's right, a thank you note is a kind of networking message because we oftentimes use them to cement our relationship with our reader. You can use them to establish or, as I just alluded to, cement a relationship. In other words, you can use networking messages to introduce yourself to someone, or if you just had a positive interaction with somebody in a face-to-face meeting or a phone call, Zoom meeting, you can use a networking message to follow up on that communication and hopefully cement your relationship with that person. You can also use networking messages to make a request. You can use them, as we'll discuss in a future video lecture, to request a letter of recommendation. You can use them to request a conversation with somebody to learn more about a workplace or a career path. You can use them for a wide variety of networking related requests. You can also use them to connect people in your network, right? Imagine you have 2 colleagues who you think would be a perfect fit for a project, or you want to introduce one of your friends or colleagues to a former supervisor. You can use a networking message to accomplish those goals. But regardless of what purpose your networking message serves, your networking message must be timely. In other words, you should send it shortly after whatever moment or event inspired this networking message. It should be brief. Of course, concision is important in any workplace communication context, but you want to keep your messages particularly brief when you're writing networking messages. Your message should be personal. You want to emphasize a human touch and a personal connection in your networking message. And finally, you want to be polite. Politeness is, of course, always a good practice in workplace writing and business writing, but it's especially important here. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of this brief introductory video lecture on networking messages. Please make sure that you watch the 2 follow-up video lectures on networking messages. And thanks, as always, for tuning in.